Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Baldwin Beauty Schools. We are now live for the prerequisite of the learner part 6. So I'm going to give everyone a minute to time in and make sure you guys say your first and last name in the live chat. I'm a little early, so uh, take a moment. Um, just want to welcome everyone that's tuned in. Hopefully, you guys are having a great weekend. I am looking at the outside today. It's so beautiful, and I wish I was outside doing this class. Yes, very good. Hi, Morgan. Hi, Olivia. Hi, Chloe. Emily Molina, Alina Frias. You guys are always on point with me. Hopefully, today I can give you a lot of information and not bore you to death because I know you've been at home for a long time. So, taking my bobby pins out. You guys go ahead and clock in. And I'm just going to silently recognize you. You could be doing anything on this beautiful Sunday, but you are here on a live chat. Make sure you like me in this particular class. That way we can keep this going as long as we need to. Hopefully we'll be back in action soon. Very good, you guys. I'm starting to notice the same people come to my class. That's good. Maybe you guys love me enough. Or love Baldwin Beauty Schools. I just want to give a shout out to Winnie and Randy for honestly making this as easy on us all as they can possibly do. And Gracie, Joanna, Jeremy, chime in, um, ask questions or answer the questions if I can't get to them because I can't multitask like that if I'm doing a live. So those of our teachers who are logged on, please make yourself known. Say what's up to your students. Saying what's up to all of you guys. Hi, hope you're doing well. Hope you are happy and healthy. Hope you are meditating and doing everything it takes for you to be happy. Right now, I'm wearing my tribal print just because this shirt gives me a little bit of energy as far as my roots go. So I just love this shirt. Hopefully, you guys like it. Also, the set for the day, because I needed an uplifted spirit and a little bit of energy, I have my Purador peppermint. Yesterday was sweet orange and mint, and I forgot to tell y'all. But the Purador brand is on Amazon. It's the peppermint. Peppermint is good for digestive issues as well. It just gives me energy in the morning when I need it. All right. So it's 11:52. Everybody go ahead. Take this time to clock in. I'm going to be doing the prerequisite of the learner part 6. And hopefully you guys will get a lot out of the next few chapters. It's very important. We're going to be touching on first aid and the important things you need to learn and remember in this time of crisis. Those of you who are working from home, you know, it's doable. Keep your head up. It's going to be okay. Those of you that are not working at all, my prayers go up for you, and hopefully we'll figure out a way to make you guys whole. Um, my name is Kimberly. I am an instructor at Baldwin Beauty Schools. For those of you that are first seeing me, South Campus mostly, but I've been north a few times. I'm a 20-year veteran in this. This is the first time I've ever had to teach in distance learning because I'm a hands-on instructor. So bear with me if I'm lame or make any rookie mistakes. Um, but we're all in this together. That's my favorite sentence now. Right, look at you guys clocking in. I got 27. Very good. 27, but only 9 likes. So we got to do something about that. All right. Oh, thank you, Lauren. Sometimes I feel lame because I look at my videos and I think I could have said more, given them the right information, and not been such a loser and write stuff down. And I don't know, we critique ourselves and we're so hard on ourselves, but what we have to learn is that we're all wonderful and fabulous, and we're doing the best we can with what we have. And that's all we can do right now. Thank you, Brenna. Um, uh, I feel lame online. Hands on. I wish I had a mannequin and could show you guys a haircut or something. Maybe one day, once she feels comfortable with us going up to the school, we can do that kind of learning for you guys, which will be awesome. Aw. All right. Okay. So while we're getting started, just want to get a little insight on you guys. Have you guys started putting together any kind of emergency um, packages? And when I say that, I mean like in an emergency, you'll need A, B, C, and D. Okay, so if you get stranded on the road because you have a blowout, do you have a good spare tire? Do you have a jack in the back of your car? Do you have all those necessary requirements to make it through an emergency situation? Um, Ask yourself that, and this is just something that I think about all the time. I think about what happens if. So an emergency action plan is what we're going to talk about. So EAP. We're going to talk about that a little bit later, but you got to start thinking in terms of what if I run out of water? What if I run out of this food for my kids? What if I'm not able to um, get in my car and drive, or make a call from the cell phone? All right. So we're going to talk about that a little bit. We're going to also go into the Good Samaritan laws, which is one of the prerequisites of the learner that's in your cosmetology fundamentals textbook. And also, if you have a Milady standard textbook, estheticians, you have the Milady standard esthetician book, or any materials that you have. Thank you. Aw. And so we want to make sure that you guys have a chance at this time, because you have 4 minutes to go and collect all of those supplies. So pen and paper, cosmetology fundamentals textbook. If you need an exam review book in front of you, but definitely something to write everything down. Um, and make sure if you have any prior notes that you can add on to this chapter, which is our first aid chapter, then you guys need to grab those as well. So I'll give you a few minutes to do that. And I'm looking at Aubrey Baldridge. Girl, yes, you have to have stuff, Jack, water bottles. We're going to go over that. So start thinking about what you're going to say. Those of you that are already ready to go, pen and paper ready. We're going to do this thing. Thank you, Randy. Thank you, Sarah. I love you guys. I miss y'all so much. I wish I could hug. Virtual hugs. North School, good representing. You guys show up so much, and you're so in tune and so connected with this learning, which makes me proud to do it and happy to do it for you every day. I would do it every day, and I'm thankful for you guys. 38. Okay, we're up to 38. Jennifer, we're going to need your cosmetology fundamentals textbook, just to read along, to go along with the chapter, or and pen and paper to take notes. Hey, Destiny. Hey, Gracie. Gracie's on deck. So make sure that you guys are logging in first and last name, especially South School, because we're still kind of learning. Now I've kind of gotten a little list of y'all's names, and I know, and it's good to see y'all's names. We're going to do the first aid chapter. Okay, so that's going to be our prerequisite for the day. And so if you want to go ahead and find whatever books, I know some of you are older students and newer students. Some of you may have not received your textbooks yet, but that's okay too. We're going to make sure you guys get the information, and then we're going to give you access um, as best we can over the internet in this distance learning. Thanks, Gracie. Hi, Elisa, Ciliana, McKenna, Brianna, Sanchez, Marisol Perez. Hopefully soon, Emily. Emily, I know. Emily, we're going to get you your books, baby. Don't worry. It's okay. I know. And when you get them, treasure them because that is like your roadmap to this industry on paper in written form. All right, you guys, it's 12 o'clock straight up. Let's get started. All right, so the first thing I want to do is go over my prerequisite, and that's what I'm doing from 12 to 1. I also like to add in my little fun facts. Prerequisite of the learner. Kylie, the text pages, I'm not sure exactly because my book is so old, but you're going to look at the first aid chapter, so that's going to be right after the microbiology or disinfect that sanitation chapter. Okay, so the first thing I'd like to do is go over our prerequisite for today. Alana is going to be teaching you guys from 2 to 3 and giving you all the information that you'll need to make sure that you pass this course and you understand, not only get the points for it, but understand the importance of it in your daily life and in your clients' daily life. Okay, so the prerequisite is as follows. You're going to be able to, after this class, you're going to be able to state the first aid techniques for bleeding and wounds. Okay, Alana's going to go over all of the steps to that with you. Secondly, you're going to identify first aid techniques for chemical burns, electrical burns, or heat-related burns. So you're going to know how to treat that. And then you're going to be able to describe the first aid techniques for choking, which is very important. So this is some important information you guys do not miss out on because you're not going to get certified by this. You can get certified, and I'll give you that information later, but at least you can learn so that you have the knowledge. Next, you're going to be able to explain the first aid techniques for fainting. I don't know if any of you have ever gotten lightheaded or fainted or dizzy before, but that happens a lot in our industry because of the chemicals, because of other factors like pregnancy. Roll call is on. Alana. Oh, Mama saying, say your first and last name. They've been doing very well, Alana. So you guys keep on chiming in. Awesome. All right. And then the next thing you're going to learn is the first aid techniques for eye injury. And then we've got some little special treats for you guys. We're not going to just make this a dull, boring class today. We're going to try to have some fun. Alana's going to show you guys how to build your at-home first aid kit because some of you, don't have a lot of resources or money and that you can't just go out and buy all the things you need. Plus, a lot of the stuff you need is sold out. So people are running out in a panic, buying a lot of items for first aid just in case something happens. All right. So the first thing I'd like to start with is your fun facts. Start with the fun facts. Okay, fun fact number 1. I have it. I wrote it down for you guys this time, and I hope you can see it. Never burst a blister. How many times have we done that? Just because we just have to, or we hit it or burst on its own. What you should never do is do it on your own with a pen, with your hands. You never want to burst a blister because the skin covering it may provide a natural barrier to infection. So it's a cover. It's like your body's defense mechanism against infection. So you never want to pop a blister, even if it's a big one. You want to really just let it heal Keep it clean and wait until the liquid drains out on its own. Okay? Give you guys a second to write that down. Never burst a blister because the skin is a natural barrier for infection. Our bodies have a way of protecting us against everything. Just like a scab on a sore or a wound is protection from infection, so you should never peel it off. So this holds true because of the layers of the skin and how susceptible we are to infection when we remove those. All right. So in the prerequisite, I want you guys to remember, I'm not going to make you guys write this down, but the prerequisite of the learner today with Alana, the most important thing you're going to have to remember is that you're going to have to be able to identify the correct first aid techniques for bleeding and wounds, and you have to do that in sequential order. Yes, it is in the Milady Standard Textbook if that's what you have. Yes. And Wendy is going to be on at 10 tomorrow in the morning, and she's going to begin the anatomy chapter. So today is your first aid chance to get all of that information in. First aid is a very informative chapter, but it's also a very short chapter. So hopefully you get everything in today. All right. So bleeding and wounds, 4 steps. You're going to be able to write the correct first aid techniques. On burns, there's 3 steps for chemical burns and 3 steps for heat or electrical burns. You're going to be able to identify those by the end of this lesson. Also, you're going to be able to step through the process of choking and know the right procedure to follow if someone is choking. There's 4 steps to that. And then fainting, 3 procedural things that you have to know, like laying the victim down. If the victim is vomiting, after they faint, you want to turn them on their side so they can expel whatever's in their mouth. You're going to learn all of those from Alana, and she is amazing at making sure that you get every single drop of information. She is probably one of the most informative and chatty people when it comes to information. She's like a little information box. All right. So for eye injury, there's different types of eye injuries. You can get a chemical eye injury or maybe a cut or scratch, eye injury. There's different procedure for those. There is the embedded object eye injury, where if you get something in your eye, like a splinter or glass, there's a procedure for that. Make sure you tune in. Allison and students, if you do not have your Milady Standard Textbook, that's okay, because that's kind of the old school book. You do have your Cosmetology Fundamentals textbook. That's the big ringed bindered textbook that you get in your kit. It's going to be in that chapter. All right. Hi, Cami. Hi, Kayla. All right. So let's talk a little bit about the best remedies for home burns. Let's do another fun fact. Okay. All right. So according to popular belief, now we're talking about home remedies. We're not talking about doctors and products you can buy on the shelves and antibiotics. We're talking about home remedies. So let's quiz. Everybody ready? What are the best home remedies for burns? Okay, chemical, electrical, let's just pretend either one. What is the best home remedy? Not first aid remedy, but the best home remedy for burns. Yes, we are having class at 2 o'clock with Alana, 2 to 3. Aloe, yes. Okay. But what if you don't have an aloe plant? I know a lot of people have aloe now because this is Texas and we're in the South. And yes. Oh, butter. No, Jennifer. Jennifer, I thought you were a nurse, girl. You know butter. Okay, you better be joking. Vaseline, no. Okay. All right. So home remedies. Here we go. That's home remedies. Write them down. You didn't know that, right? You're not supposed to put butter or Vaseline. Okay. Please don't confuse the people that weren't here. You guys do not put butter or Vaseline on a burn. It will trap in the heat and destroy tissues. You guys, this is serious because there's somebody looking on this and going, what? Okay, I need real answers, not funnies. Cool water and aloe, very good. Mayo, no. Mayo is not a good substance for burns. It has oil. You do not want to put anything oil based like butter or Vaseline, petroleum jelly on a burn. Y'all are showing me who was in class yesterday and who wasn't paying attention and who was. Just because you guys are timed in, you still have to get the information. Okay? Honey. And somebody, if y'all want to go ahead and take your phones and Google it, why honey helps. Yes, honey. How are you going to wipe honey off a burn? Kira, that's exactly why you need honey, because it stays on the burn. You don't wipe it off, you just apply it. Okay, so if you guys want to give me your best home remedies, go ahead. Feel free to log in at the live chat. What works for you? Some people say milk. I've seen people put milk on a burn. I've seen people put yogurt. I saw yogurt earlier. Those are all good answers. Okay. Egg whites. If they're cold, yes. Okay. The important thing you want to remember about a burn is it's the skin's way of entrapping or trapping heat. So the last thing you need is something that's going to conduct itself to heat, like butter, or attract itself to heat. You want to do something cool but not cold. So if you have a fresh burn, the last thing you want to do is put an ice cube. And that's because you're taking that heat that's trapped under the skin and you're automatically cooling it with something extra cold. That's why you have to take the heat out slowly in order for it to heal and not have inflammation. The longer it burns, the longer it has a chance to penetrate through to the layers of the skin. Oh, I read that. Lavender. Lavender actually is very good for burns. Antibacterial and moisturizing, yes. Okay, sunburns, those of you that get sunburns, okay, if you have a burn and you don't know what to do, okay, it's best that you learn what you have in your refrigerator or at home to take care of those burns. My suggestion is today, if you go out, if you're able to go to a nursery, is to invest in a nice little aloe vera plant. And buy one that is big enough to grow fast because they grow pretty fast. I have one on the side of my house. Those plants don't die no matter what. You can leave them starving of water. If it rains and you have a source of water for them, they will survive. And honestly, aloe vera is like the best actual natural healing for burns. Okay, cool compress after you do the cool water to rinse it, cool compress, aloe vera, and honey. All right, so for those of you that are interested in doing some online training for CPR, I have your information. I'm sure you probably already know this, but there's probably someone out there who needs this information. If you're interested in learning CPR training, first aid training, AED training, the redcross.org offers these classes. You can do them online and you can do them hands-on. And what they suggest you do is what's called the simulation online course. And they offer this during the week and on the weekends. And what the simulation online means is they will teach you online all of the stuff that you can learn online, and then they do the simulation in person. So you just show up for the hours. You can get certified through them. Really, really good website. If you haven't already checked it out, please check it out. Make sure that you're informed on how to properly, when you have to quarantine, properly quarantine, because there are a lot of people that think quarantine is just locking someone in the room so that they don't affect everybody else. It's more than that. It's making sure you clean surfaces that they touch. If somebody has a pre-existing condition or illness, the redcross.org will help you in your endeavors to help them through this crisis. We are in a national pandemic. Everybody needs to remember that. The coronavirus is a reality. I know a lot of you are still kind of reeling because it's only been a couple weeks, but the reality should have set in by now if it hasn't already. So you need to take the necessary precautions. Redcross.org, Google it. All right. So let's talk about you and your emergency situation that you have right now and all of the ones that could happen. Let's go over a list. Let's do 7 emergency protocols that you guys are practicing, because you never know when something will happen. You never know when you have to be on alert or be informed. You never know when you're going to need something. You take for granted that your cell phone might be on empty and you don't have a charger. You might take for granted that there's food in the fridge, for you to eat nicely every day. But one of the things I want to kind of give you guys a little bit of a wake-up call on is some of the things that you may take for granted that you need in this time of crisis, because we never know when something's going to happen. Can you guys guess the first thing? Kind of mentioned it. And I'm writing this down so in case you're a young person, you can probably make this list for yourself. Okay? Excuse my handwriting. First thing you're gonna need, because you guys always have them in your lap and everything, a fully charged cell phone with a charger. That's charger, sorry, I misspelled it. Why is it necessary for us to know? First aid kit is down the list, but your fully charged cell phone, why is that important? For emergency calls, okay. But what does that mean for emergency calls? You need a fully charged cell phone for somebody to track your location. You need a fully charged cell phone for 911 calls. You need a fully charged cell phone so maybe you can send a picture or some kind of SOS in case you get in a bind or an emergency situation to call for help, okay? If you do not take your cell phone charger with you and you do not make sure to put your phone on the charger, you need to start doing that now. You need to start making that a priority, okay? So you can have the battery power to call 911 if you need to. What's number 2? Bet you guys can't guess. Gas in your car, guys. Make sure your car is not running on fumes. Last thing you need is to be in an emergency situation where you have to leave your residence and you're on E. Guess what? Lines to the gas station, you don't even want to try it. Okay? 65 people. Oh, we got a nice little turnout. Make sure you like me in the like section of this live. I'm giving you the real right now. This is something that I personally just thought about as far as my steps and making sure that I'm preventing myself getting stuck in a crisis. What if you have to drive to the emergency room and you have no gas? What if you have to drive yourself out of the city? Make sure your gas tank is more than half full. That's the important thing. A little bit of gas that's going to only get you a little bit of mileage is not going to be great either. So if you're one of those people that like to drive around a lot for no reason, stop doing that. Make sure you keep your car and your gas tank full or half full. What's the next thing? Okay, in case you're stuck in a time like a pandemic, make sure you go to the groceries. Guess what? Everybody that's hoarding stuff, water and bread and milk, that's because they don't go to the grocery store enough. And they're worried that they're not going to have it when they go. There are people like me who go to the grocery store and I just like to have milk. And if I see that I'm running out of something, I go get the grocery items so that I don't have to hoard and I don't have to panic. I've got so much freaking water in my garage right now. I wish I could tell you. I have a lot of rolls of paper towels, and that's not because I'm a hoarder. It's because that's one of the few staples that we need in a crisis situation. Yes, Maria, refill your gas every time. Yes, get your gas tanks full. It's a beautiful day. Go outside, walk your dogs, and then take a moment to go fill up your gas tanks. Okay, what's number 4? What do you need to have in order to make it? A complete first aid kit. What does that mean? Complete, Miss Kim? Are you thirsty, Destiny? Aw, I have water, girl. I got plenty of it. All right. What is a complete first aid kit? I want you guys to understand this operative word. Not a little first aid kit with Band-Aids and some gauze and a little bit of Neosporin. What do you need in a first aid kit? If something happens to you, some of the things you need, very good, canned food. What else? A complete first aid kit. You're going to need extras, right? Extra everything. Pre-packed everything. You might need Band-Aids, you might need gauze, you might need something for a wound, you might need extra water, you might need some witch hazel alcohol to clean a wound, you might need snacks, something for your kids. Those of you that have children that are babies, what would you need in your complete first aid kit? And I want you to make sure that when you're at Target or Walmart, you go out and you find those items today. Do not wait. Do it now. Okay? Blankets, extra socks, anything that you can think of. Gloves, alcohol. Yes. Now y'all are thinking. Okay? My first aid kit. Let me show you the first thing I have. See this little bad boy right here? This was a gift from one of my friends that's a police officer. This is a flashlight. Okay? So what this does is it helps me in case my car, my house, everything goes dark, even though I have solar panels, which is another thing on my home. In case something happens, I have this flashlight, which is also very weighty and doubles as a weapon if somebody makes me mad or if I have to fight off an attacker. Okay, extra clothes, medicine, Very good. Gloves, extra bandages, isopropyl, rubbing alcohol, shoes. A lot of people will say that you'll need paper towels, um, uh, toilet paper. That should be an essential in your first aid kit. So your first aid kit, you need to be thinking more in terms of what am I going to need if I can't make it out of my house or if I get stuck in my car. Okay, jumper cables, another one for the car. Okay. And then what else do we need to do in an emergency 7? So that was 4, right? We go 3 more. Most important thing you do is you make a plan and you tell your family members, everyone who lives and resides in your household, plan. Y'all get together and you guys discuss it. And this is, sometimes kids will be like, oh, mom, do we really? Yes, we really. Because this is going to save your life in case something happens. Make a family plan. Write it down. Leave it on a whiteboard on your refrigerator. Give every person in your household a plan. Make sure they understand where to go if there's an emergency. If there's a fire in your home, they need to know which exit to take so you all can get out safely. Make a plan. Don't just wait for something to happen. Make a plan so that you guys are prepared. Very good. Next one. I think we got 2 more. And people say this to me, oh, Ken, it's easy for you to say, but it's not. Now you kind of have to listen. And I'm not normally a panicky person, but I suggest all my friends and family and students and loved ones in this time of crisis and any time of crisis, the best thing you can do is do not panic. Think about what's going on, your emergency situation, your EAP, emergency action plan that you have already put into place. If you already have it into place with your kids and with your spouse, then you won't need to panic. Or maybe you will panic it, but you'll know what to do in that state of mind. Nobody can say what they'll do in a state of panic if something happens. So no judgment here, but I would rather be prepared and then panic a little bit. Yes, yes. When you're the type of person that knows that you need extra stuff, there's nothing wrong with packing extra clothes in the back of your trunk. Young people, I would suggest you do that. And my mom was old school, and her most important thing for us to have extra was underwear. Okay, underwear and socks. Nothing wrong with having a suitcase in your trunk or in your back seat with underwear, socks, bras, t-shirts, jeans, shorts, whatever. Okay. Okay, what's the last thing we need for our EAP? Go over the thing, fully charged phone, okay, with the charger, not just a fully charged phone, but a fully charged phone with the charger, full tank of gas, grocery items, complete first aid kit, okay. What else? Extra cash. Oh, Alina Frias. Very good, my love. Alina, she's right. Try to keep you some little cash on him in case the ATM machine is on tilt and everything is going, I guess electronically bad. Cash, money. But what kind of money? Not just your debit card, guys, not your checks, cash. Okay? How much cash should you keep on you, Alina Fred, since you were the one that had the right answer? Good job. How much would you say, depending on your situation, how much cash for the average family or the average two people household should you keep on you? Really interested to yeah, there's some of you that always keep cash. That's a very, very good practice to have. Even though people might think, oh, yeah, you're old school, you're no, it is always, always a good idea to have extra cash. And when I say cash, I'm not talking about your credit card or your debit card, I mean the actual dollars. Okay. $100, very good. 2 to 400, 120. All right. Yeah, keep cash, Cassie. It's very important because you think in a situation of panic, you're going to be able to get to an ATM machine. If you have to make a transaction, chances are people in desperate times are only going to accept cash. 200. Oh, some of y'all are big ballers. I can tell you right now, I've got $60 in cash in my wallet. And that's what I keep. And I know that's not a lot to some of you guys, but $60 is a good little healthy medium for me. So with that being said, we're gonna go ahead and take a little break. It's 12:30, half past the hour. Hopefully you guys are getting a lot of good information. I'm gonna give you guys like a 3 to 5 minute break so we can get back to business pretty quickly. And we're finishing up the prerequisite of the learner part 6 in 5 minutes. I'm asking you guys if you have made a list already of some of the things you're going to add to your first aid kit. Hey, Morgan. 2 to 3, then you're free to enjoy. Yay! That was for Alana. You guys, if you have not already been outside, please go outside and see how beautiful this Sunday is and be thankful for the opportunity to enjoy it. Yes. And those of you that are tuning in live and participating in the chat, give shout outs to Wendy and Randy Baldwin for making this possible, for allowing us to work from home and give you guys the education that you all deserve. And glad to see you guys. Some of the names I'm really, really, really missing you guys. All right. Yeah. Yay. Kylie, Lauren, Baldwin, McKenna, Taryn, Emily Molina. Very good. You guys are so good. Okay, so I only have 34 likes. I got 61, 62 people. Need some more likes so that you guys can keep me on live. I actually started enjoying doing them a little bit more. I'm not as nervous as I was on the first one. Actually, they took off my first one for inappropriate content for children. I don't know what that was about, but okay. So let's recap for our prerequisite. We're going to be learning about first aid. Alana's going to have your in-depth notes. Be sure to have pen and paper ready for her. She's going to give you a lot of good information. And she's very, very step-by-step with everything. So if you're one of those types of learners who just needs the step-by-step, tune into her because she's the best, okay? While you guys are timing in again, let's talk about something that we don't get a lot of understanding about, because it's one of those chapters in our books that we kind of overlook. The Good Samaritan laws, okay? Good Samaritan laws are in place for a reason, and that's to encourage people to help others in emergency situations. That means not just standing there and looking and taking pictures, but actually jumping in to help someone who is in crisis. Can anyone tell me if they've ever had a situation, maybe you have, in a short little sentence, where you have had to implement your Good Samaritan laws? One of the things you're going to learn about the Good Samaritan laws is that they are in place to protect people who provide emergency care to people who are injured or ill. So if you accidentally hurt someone while you are trying to resuscitate them, the Good Samaritan law absolves you of any guilt or prosecution later, because you were doing it for the assistance of another person. However, you do not want to exceed the scope of your training. So for instance, if you haven't learned CPR, don't try to perform it on someone. You might accidentally make the situation worse. That's why it's important to get the certification, redcross.org. If you're interested in taking the classes, please make sure to look them up. Hopefully you guys wrote that down. And when I say exceeding the scope, if someone has a wound and there's something embedded in that wound, you don't want to try to remove that object. So that's exceeding the scope. Anytime anyone is punctured or wounded in that way, the best thing to do is to leave that object in place, which is my fun fact number 2 for today. I didn't write it down, but I'm going to right now. I could just say it. It's a short sentence. Never remove an embedded object in the eye, in the skin, anywhere on the body. Can someone tell me why you should never, ever, ever remove an embedded object? Because you're exceeding the scope and you could cause further injury to someone. But why? What is the physical reason why you wouldn't remove an embedded object. While you're doing that, I'm going to get a tissue. Great, guys. You can make the situation worse. Very good, Maria. But how could you make the situation worse? Chloe Long has the right answer. The object could be keeping them from bleeding out, and removing it will cause more harm than good. Okay, so that's it in a nutshell. Very good, you guys. Blood loss. Yes. So if you have someone or an animal or that becomes impaled with a nail in the foot or something that has caused a wound, the last thing you want to do is pull it out. You could make the situation increase infection, like Felice Escamilla said. You could probably damage more of the tissues and veins and everything inside by pulling it out. Serena, very good answer. But the obvious answer is the blood loss will be greater. So never remove an embedded object. Right. Very good, you guys. So before we wrap up, want to remind you guys that Wendy wanted me to remind you that you guys are going to have your schedule as planned, that tomorrow or today, actually, Ilana will come in and instead of the live from Molly from 5 to 6, you guys will get a chance to turn in all of your assignments. She will receive them by email. So make sure you're emailing Molly. If you don't have her email, reach out to her. It's leverandcheck.com, but I'm not sure. So if you guys need that, I can type it in later. Also, Katie is going to send out a mass text telling all students to check their email for the assignments this time. So check your emails. If you're not getting them in your emails, please check your spam folder. Thank you, Molly. Lavrenchik, LAVRENCHIKM @gmail.com. That's going to be where you can turn in your assignments. Okay. These assignments must be turned in by 5 p.m. All right. If you are a busy mom or you work, make sure you get that assignment in early. It's 12:47. You still got the rest of this beautiful day to complete your assignments. Yeah. Okay. Well, Maria, if you can go back to the live, Molly did a really, really good little quiz over the live from yesterday. If you can access it, you can see. Oh, there you go. Maria still got your assignment from yesterday. So you're in good hands. Trust and believe, you guys. We are here for you, and we are here to help you. Wendy is making sure, and as Randy is as well, that you guys are getting your hours and your time. Just make sure that you're logging in and getting the information. Can't stress to you enough the mindset of learning, how important that is. All right. So, Kayla, if you would just email Molly, or maybe she's in the chat, she can tell you how many questions. It was 25 terms only. Okay. Very good. All right. So lastly, I'd like to kind of conclude this live with a little bit of CPR or just a little knowledge about little terminologies that you might hear interchangeably now, and what your knowledge is on all of these things. Because I learn a lot from reading. And the first thing you guys need to know, and this is going to be as far as your first aid is concerned, what these mean. And CPR is the first one. That stands for cardiopulmonary resuscitation. This is an emergency procedure that combines chest compressions with artificial ventilation, which is the breathing in the mouth for an effort to preserve brain function. Remember, we talked about yesterday, the brain has 6 to 10 minutes when oxygen supply is depleted or obstructed. In order for the brain function to remain normal, we need to make sure that we do CPR when it's needed. And CPR is one of those things I think everybody's afraid to do because of now our pandemic situation, but there are certain hazardous materials that you can avoid by just maybe keeping gloves in your car. Maybe that's your first aid kit, one of the things. Saran wrap is another one. You can have all kinds of shields from germs and bacteria. There's actually CPR mouthpieces that you can purchase. The next one is AED. This is an automated external defibrillator. And the defibrillator is the thing that they put on your chest and it keeps your heart from stopping. It's a portable electronic device that automatically helps with cardiac arrhythmias. I think that's how you say it. And we don't necessarily have to do that in our profession, but if you are trained in AED, that is wonderful. If you have one on your premises, I know that some jobs have to have that as part of their training. The last one is EAP, which is Emergency Action Plan. We talked about that earlier. All right. The theories that you want to study is your procedure for first aid for blood exposure, burns and wounds. This is just extra. You don't have to know all this. This is just my little nugget of knowledge for you guys. An emergency action plan is one of those things that is required by OSHA for the workplace. So it's called an EAP. You have to facilitate and organize action in an emergency in the workplace. So it's just something that we have to remember to do and that we have to study and try to keep ourselves current on. You can go to redcross.org again to learn all of this and the terms that you have to turn in. You will be responsible for those. Again, Molly is going to provide her email. She already did it in the live chat. So you want to make sure you turn in your assignments to her. Any questions or concerns you have about your hours or classes, please feel free to let us know. We want to make sure we're giving you guys everything you need and that we are providing you with the best education as we always will and we've always done. Can't wait to get back and see you guys in person. Make sure that when you log in, if you have a screen name that we are not sure that you're putting your first and last name spelled out so that we can give you the credit for your time. Go ahead and give me some more likes today and we can go ahead and sign off. You guys, make sure to have your assignment turned in. All right. 25 terms from your email. So those of you that have access to your email, please check it. Make sure you have those terms turned in. I'm going to say goodbye to everybody. Thank you, Monica, America. Oh, I appreciate you guys. Thank you, Connie. Bye, Kimmy. Bye, Alexa. Kira, you're welcome, baby. Thank you, Faith. Bye, Jasmine Barker. Annalisa Siciliano, Brenna Womack, always in attendance. Kira Cusimano, Chloe Long, Annabelle Smith, Lauren Baldwin, Lauren Rivera, Tabitha Kelly. I'm just saying hi to you guys. Destiny Allison, Cypress, Cassie Graff, Brianna Sanchez. Thank you, Aubrey. Thank you, Erica. Hopefully you guys have a wonderful, wonderful week last week and you're not too stressed out and worried about everything. Yasmin Collin, Sarah Behrens. We miss and love each and every one of you. I love to see you guys online, but I can't wait to see you more in person. I love you too, Lauren Baldwin. 2 to 4, no, 2 to 3 today, Marie. It's going to be your first day, so tune in to Alana and take notes. Carson Ivy, thank you. Stacy Murray, Laura Lopez, Kayla Langford, Joelle Askelson, Aubrey Baldridge. 2 to 3, yes. All right. Tune in. Get your hours. Love you guys. Miss you bunches. And I will be signing off until next time.